Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and Our Kings, a local one today for me anyway,
Yeah,
so it's great.
I was going to say, this is for you. I remember you came to the first Garrison meet-up 18 months ago, but it's snowballed. Even since then, we saw something big, but this is massive. And it's the way he has got his fans going. Biggest ticket seller in British boxing by some distance now.
I was going to ask you, I remember at the Garrison, our interview, it was a long time ago, but I think you said something like, you know what, we sort of took a punt, weren't sure, but I'm glad we did, because I think they had the quickest sort of initial sale, pre-sale, that rivaled, was it Wardley Clark, was that right?
Listen, this is just phenomenal. You know, we were a European title. This is like what guys are doing when they fight for world titles, and they're beyond that, and they're later on in their career. So he's the start of something very special. Last year, 7,000 for the British and Commonwealth. This year for the European title will be doubling that. He deserves it because he works hard, and he's built this from scratch. It's almost been like a business to him. He knows everyone. He knows everyone in the town. He spends time with everyone in the town. He cares about the 1%. You know, fighters talk about, how can I get here, or how can I get this? Work for it, because it's not just about what you do in the ring. It isn't anymore. And Callum's living proof of that. Now he wants to become a big star. He wants to be getting the viewing figures that a big star gets. He's ticked so many boxes now. That's the next step. But Saturday night could be, the start of something very special.
Well, look, it could be the start of something special. He's got a live dog in there in Zucco who's not coming here to lie down or turn up for the occasion. Providing Callum does come through this, though, I suppose his options are endless. I know I've seen him on TalkSport talking with Simon Jordan, etc., and they're saying, look, world titles, Hamza Shiraz, this, that and the other. I know that doesn't happen without a win this weekend, but where do you see his future, providing he does the business this weekend?
Look, Mark Jeffers is on the card against Sean Hemphill in another tough super middleweight fight. A lot of people believe Mark's the best in the country. For me, Callum's done everything right now. It has to be world level. This is a tough fight. This is probably beyond European level, in the sense that you wouldn't choose to fight Ivan Zuko. You wouldn't choose to fight a guy that's fought 21 times, won 21 times, knocked out 18 of those, doesn't know how to lose, and this is his big moment as well. So it's a huge fight for him. The big names are next, if he can come through. But this is no foregone conclusion, you know. He wants to win a world title. We did British last year, we've done European this year. Next year, when he comes here, he should be fighting for a world title, but he's got to win. But he should do, because he doesn't leave a stone unturned, and he's going to come through a tough fight, I believe. Hopefully the fans will get behind him, and that will see him home.
It's good news, obviously, for the city and the area. I want to talk about one of your other fighters who's obviously gained a lot of traction since what was one of the best fights, one of the best event weeks we've had in Chris Eubank Jr. And you're going to get us by everyone. I'm no different. I've got to ask you. What an event. Everyone's talking about a rematch now in September. I spoke to Napa earlier and said, look, is this a definite? Is there wiggle room if other opportunities come? He said they think that's probably the fight they're looking towards. There obviously was a rematch clause in place. What is the story for this time? What is the narrative? Obviously there was a big thing made of Conor jumping up in weight and Chris having to make weight. Is it the same terms, we just run it back, or do you think there's room to maybe negotiate a little bit of something different for it?
I just said out there, look, the fight has done wonders for British boxing. Everyone that doesn't even talk about boxing talks about boxing and is now interested in boxing. That's the effect that fight. The only thing you can want more from that, every promoter, everyone involved just wants the fighters to come out safe. That was the one concern in the fight. So why wouldn't everyone involved in the fight want that to be as safe as possible? Conor has now proven himself at the weight. He's now proven himself. It's a lot more competitive than a lot of people would have thought, including myself, including Chris. It's an even fight. There's no reason to make it as unsafe. And that is to be the goal of all the organisers. We all want it to happen. I believe it will happen. We've signed for it to happen. But when you talk about the weight, everyone should just want the guys to get in safely.
I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but I remember speaking to Gareth A. Davis, and I think he said something along the lines of there was a big feeling of boxing got away with it a little bit. Not in terms of the fight, because we always thought it could be something special, but in terms of everyone got out safely. They were both in hospital after, I think, Chris for a number of days as well. Is that sort of another thing? I know they go for precautions anyway, by the way, on most fight weeks, but do you look at that and go, look, you know, you talked about it being severely dehydrated on the Stephen Bartlett podcast. Do you look at that and use that as reference to go, look, let's try and maybe avoid that and just do it how it normally is?
That's exactly it. What's the point? It's going to be the biggest event. It'll probably be bigger than the last one. It's going to be the biggest event of the year, the biggest event of British boxing, the biggest event possibly in the past years. Regardless of that, whether this is a central area fight at Bowler's Exhibition Centre up near me, or the biggest fight, all we want is a safe fight. That's the number one aim. They're going to make loads of money. They're both going to come out safely. Let's make sure everything happens. We saw enough last time, and I think everyone will be sensible because Conor's now proven himself as well. So that's what I hope and expect will happen, and we'll all have sensible discussions.
So look, he's been linked with Canelo a long time, but I want to go down a different route here. I spoke to Napper about this earlier. I spoke to Frank Warren earlier in the week about it. Apparently Billy Joe Saunders was in initial talks with Frank about a comeback, and I said to Frank, where's he at with it? Because you know yourself, that fight, that narrative, we talk about personal, we talk about spite and genuine dislike for one another. That's another one. If Billy could come back like sort of this end of the year, get a couple of fights under his belt, do you believe that fight is a possibility and one that you'd go, look, you know yourself as a promoter, you look at that does huge numbers?
We would love to, but it's all on Billy, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've heard about him coming back for a long, long time. Let's see if he can do it. I know Chris has been thinking about that first fight since it happened. If we can do it, it's absolutely enormous. Crazy, crazy size. But I like Billy. I want him to come back, but will he come back? It's a lot of hurdles to get through, so it's hard for Chris or even myself to think about fights that aren't actually there yet.
Let's talk about, I suppose, not the elephant in the room. I've heard you answer it, but everyone's talking about the Sky deal and, you know, all this stuff. Thinking a bygone era was never public knowledge. Things just happened. We moved on or carried on, but everyone's questioning what's happening next. See rumours circulating about who could go where. From the horse's mouth, what can you tell us?
Look, we've got a big announcement to make. It's been a very successful first broadcast cycle with Sky Sports, and it's particularly come on in recent times with a lot of massive wins and a lot of fighters, a lot of record viewing figures and some massive events. But yeah, we'll make a big announcement very soon.
I see you got a smile on your face, so hopefully it sounds like it's going to be good news for yourselves. You've built a big platform in the last few years. Yeah. We have someone in Ipswich today, and someone was interviewing Frank Smith. You two are sort of like hot and cold. You see each other, business, it's all good. I've confirmed what he said today just to make sure, because I don't want to get this wrong. And he said, why would anyone sign with Ben Shalom in relation to this deal being up in the air? But you can confirm, Boxer still carrying on, everything's going fine, looking to improve, looking to make further signings, because you've seen huge developments. Stars of Ben Whittaker, Callum Simpson this weekend. What do you make of them comments? Is that just sniping? Is that friendly banter?
I don't know. I've not seen it. I don't really watch his interviews. I'm surprised because, yeah, I don't watch his interviews. He's been gunning for us for a long time. It's not going to stop. But no one cares what he's got to say.
Ben, look, I look forward to obviously getting this way in. Hopefully the weather holds out, and another historic night in Barnsley coming this weekend with Callum Simpson. Appreciate your time, Ben.
Just going to say, for anyone coming down 4 o'clock, I know from speaking to the stadium it's going to be a bit chaotic, so get down there early. Final tickets now at boxer.com, and tune in on Saturday night on Sky Sports for a massive event.
Absolutely. Ben Shalom, appreciate your time.
Thank you.